Well, there's one personal anecdote which is interesting. You know, when India was opening up its trade barrier, opening up its trade imports, earlier everything was, our average duties were 200%. So even small things were not allowed to be imported. So I used to cover finance ministry those days. So in one of the seminars, subsequently I think, when I was editor of Financial Express, when I was the op-ed editor at Economic Times in 2006, we got all the original team of 1991 reforms, the economic reforms team under Manmohan Singh as finance minister. So we had Rangarajan, who was then in RBI. We had Montek Ahluwalia, who was his finance secretary, and various people who participated. Mr. P Chidambaram, who was commerce minister in the government, 91-92. So we brought them together on stage to discuss how things were then and now. So there are a lot of anecdotes were shared, and one of the anecdotes which I think Montek Ahluwalia had shared, even N K Singh had shared, was that when they used to go abroad for conferences, they would carry their suits, dry clean suits from Delhi, and when they would, in the hotel that they stayed, when they would get into the lift to go to the conference room. So N K Singh, Montek said that our suits are smelling of kerosene. Those days, the dry clean equipment, used to be a bit primitive, and they used to put kerosene to do dry cleaning, and the smell used to stay. So at that point, N K Singh said, so why did we allow the import of dry cleaning equipment so that you get rid of this problem? Smelling like kerosene when you go to conferences abroad. So from there came the idea of, so they went and looked at all the items, the dry cleaning equipment import. So it was either free, or the import was free later. So they said they solved this problem of smelling of kerosene abroad when they go abroad by letting the import of dry cleaning equipment there. So, and of course there are other anecdotes also, how Manmohan Singh, when Narasimha Rao implemented reforms, there was a strong pushback which came from a section of the socialist lobby within the Congress, as also the left, and even BJP was at that time opposing certain aspects of reforms. So they didn't want a two-stage devaluation of the rupee at that time. They felt that people associate the currency with nationalist kind of sentiment. Currency should be strong. But then the currency at that time had to be devalued because India only had barely 2 weeks of foreign exchange to meet just 2 weeks of import. So India's external sector situation was very bad. So it was not competitive. So they had to devalue the currency. So they did the first short devaluation happened on a certain day, and for this second shot was to happen, I think after 1 or 2 days. Meanwhile, some of the Congress leaders were opposing the second phase of devaluation. So, but Narasimha Rao had already had given a green signal to Manmohan Singh. But it seemed from the conversation that they had on stage in 2006 when discussing the reforms period, all the participants. I think Dr. Rangarajan said that he got instructions from Manmohan Singh that next day he had to do the second phase. And then those days you don't have mobile phones, right? So, but Mr. Narasimha Rao, because of political pressure, wanted to delay the second phase of devaluation. So apparently he called Manmohan Singh's house, but Manmohan Singh pretended that he'd gone off to sleep. So they couldn't actually reach the RBI governor. So next morning that second phase also happened. So there was a bit of stealth involved in pulling off. A lot of reforms were opposed by the political class, and they had to be done by stealth, which is one of the criticisms against India's economic reforms, because it is said that they were not transparently discussed or debated with the people participating in it. So